Let's see here. Let's go ahead and turn on the slides. If we can move that stuff out of the way top. Yes, sir. Okay. Why do we do a back in the saddle? We kind of talked to it a little bit before. If you look historically in most organizations, and that it doesn't matter whether it's a ground organization, a flying organization, or just getting in a vehicle and driving or whatnot, it normally happens. Accidents happen during the normal routine, the dull, average kind of things that happen. We're no different. When you look across our accidents and our incidents across the entire center, there's really no difference whether I'm talking in the headquarters building or if we can turn the gain down just a little bit on this, okay? Whether we're talking in the building or if we're talking out on a range. The accident rates are about the same, even if I'm talking out onto the flight line. Things normally happen in the normal operations, not in the high-risk stuff. You know, when we're really going to go messing around with a missile that we don't know anything about, and we do all the stuff, and we get the training, we get additional people in here, we're going to fly an aircraft at a very high-risk profile. We look at that, and gosh, guys, we worry about it to death, don't we? How many people love the SOP process? Hey, going to alter it a little bit. It's a requirement, right? We've been through this before. Everyone knows it, okay? But it's there for a reason. Same way with the test planning process on the and the cuffed and the safety of flight review boards and all those different risk mitigation procedures. We go through those so that when it comes time to execute, we've done everything we can to protect our people, protect our assets, and protect those other people that live in Huntsville so we don't drop stuff, shoot stuff onto them, leave big smoking holes in the ground. Historically, we have the problems when we're just doing normal stuff. Oh, we need to do 20 missile shots between now and the next Friday. They're golden missiles. We just need to make sure the date is right. Hey, we need to just do a little bit of continuation training. Let's just go bounce from here over to there. You know, no big deal. We'll go knock it out. And that's when things tend to go wrong. I was talking to one of our contract leads, one of our teammates from contract leads, and I didn't realize it, but their company statistics shows January and February is their highest time of incidents and accidents. It doesn't surprise me. You know, if we take summer break and we come back from summer break, it's the same thing. Normally military aviation units, and I think you guys have already done this, you don't even turn a wheel, you don't turn a rotor, you don't do anything until you've had within the sections and those pieces, let's sit down, let's talk about it. So that's why we're doing it, okay? 10% of the organization kept working over the holidays. There were some folks that worked on Christmas Day, some folks that worked on January 1st. So while the other 90% of us were really drinking a lot of beer and having a lot of cheer, we had 10% of our teammates and brothers here that did phenomenal work over the break. And for those guys, and gals, thank you very much. This is maybe not so much as a back in the saddle, but hey, let's take a little bit of break. Let's resort here. Next slide, please. I put this up there because, and this is the only slide that I'm going to talk to when I go through my safety brief, because this is what's important to us. This is what defines us. Before, in every town hall, I said, what am I here for? Mission, community, and BRAC, right? I mean, that's no news to anybody that's been to one of these. Now BRAC's done, guys. So the one thing you do when you BRAC something together that should have taken 5 years, and we did it in about an 18-month compressed timeline, and we did a real good job as a team. One of the things that we've got to do battlefield cleanup, okay? Because the goal was speed, 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 right? You wait till the last minute. It only takes a minute. It doesn't necessarily have to be pretty. We don't want to hurt anybody, but we need to drive it forward. So that's what we did. So this year, what the focus is still mission, community, but battlefield cleanup. And that battlefield cleanup includes a lot of processes, a lot of space management, a lot of just how we do business and look at it. If you look at us guys right now, I think we've done very, very well posturing for the out years. We have been living for the last 3 years the nightmare that the rest of DOD is just starting into. That's a fact, okay? I don't know how many folks read the Early Bird this morning. Early Bird is a pretty phenomenal piece of equipment. If you take a quick look at it, it's worth the gouge, okay? It absolutely reflected what the President and the SecDef briefed here at about 1,300 today. Well, actually, it was earlier, about 1,100, I guess, when they all got up there and said, yeah, we may take the Army down below 500,000 people, and we may go, now this is where there's a little bit of change. In the Early Bird, it said we may take the Army from the nation from having to fight 2 MRCs, major regional conflicts, down to just 1. That's, I mean, Jim, have you ever heard of this where we as an Army said we'll only fight in 1 MRC? I think they're redefining what they mean by MRC. So you sit there and you go, okay, where's that leave us? They say, okay, we're going to take the functions out of the ground forces and we're going to put it into air forces and naval forces. Okay, well, we got aviation, and everything that we do on missile side goes on to aviation. We took, where's the Oracle at? Where you at, buddy? Raise your hand. Oh, there we go. The smartest man in the organization by far. He briefed up the numbers. Guys, we have a first quarter that's been better than the last 6 years. And that's all the further back we can go, because before then we had too many different systems. So we're doing very well, okay? Will that carry through 13? I don't know. But I do know that how we deal with that influx of work right now, and there's a lot of things that go into making that happen, and why that was a very, very strong first quarter, how we deal with that and what we deliver and how we stewards and are good stewards of that money, and delivering that product to the PMs and getting that stuff into the hands of our soldiers is going to chart our course for the next 10 years. Okay? This is not a short-term thing. This is going to be like this is a marathon, okay? Good thing is we, as an organization, are about at the 4-mile mark already. Okay? So we've been already humping down this thing, working it. Okay? Gives us a lot of advantage over a lot of the other organizations. The one thing you don't want to do functionally as a big organization is go, well, I'll wait for big Army and big DOD to dictate it to me. Okay, because if you do that, it's alligators. That's easy. You want to sit back on your laurels, I'll take your goods. That's how it works, okay, at the big level. I don't think we're in that boat. That same kind of mindset, though, goes directly down into how we do our tests every single day. And it all comes down to attention to detail. I see every accident report that we do, every incident report, and we go, oh, well, we dodged, like this morning, for example, one of the issues that we had, we dodged a bullet because it was not reportable to big Army. You know, that's how people tend to look at it in the safety. Well, we don't got to report it to big Army. You know, it's not reportable. It doesn't count against us because we do these great metrics. RTC, how many reportable accidents can we have in a year? Safety officer?
Can we have?
Yeah.
Gets as many as we do.
No, Roger. No, but according zero, because they say at 1, I broke their limit. Okay, so people tend to get really metric oriented. Oh, we had 1, we're good. We're good enough. Okay, I don't really care about the metric. If we had 10, okay, fine, we report 10. It doesn't matter. The important part is that we take those lessons learned and we bring them back home and we fix the problem to begin with. What really bothers me is if I have repeats of the same incidents, and I've had some of those. It's like, that means, you know what that means? It means I'm not a learning organization. You know, gosh, we're only 1,200 folks strong across the board. If I have an incident on a range or out at the hangar, I sure don't want to see that same incident out at E cubed or on this range. And sometimes I'll have that same incident still on the same range. The only difference would be time frame and periods, you know, time and space. You can't do that, you know, because that tells me we're not learning organization. We're not paying attention to detail. And that is what it all comes down to, is attention to detail. What's the 2 biggest killers for people doing any kind of, any hazardous job? Doesn't matter if you're working in a shipyard or working on a pipeline or flying aircraft or shooting missiles, or you're a soldier downrange or a CB downrange. It's 2 things, and we have it ripe in our formations, guys, because I hear it all the time. Number 1 is complacency. It's routine. Back to how I started the whole thing off, right? Yeah, hey, Korea, yeah, you got about 1 million hours. Yeah, we'll go fly together. Okay, so we'll go fly, right? And yeah, there's 10,000 hours of experience in that cockpit. There's not going to be any problem. You can't say that because each event is separate from the other event. We've been shooting TOW missiles for 40 years. It's no big thing. Let's go bang out 3 to, hey, we might be able to do 20 today, whatever the case may be. And if you look at our accident rates on these types of things, that's where we get into trouble because it's routine. We become complacent. And that's the thing you've got to guard against. It's not like when you have a deck of cards of 50, 52 or 54 cards, depending if the jokers are not in there. There's no relationship. Each missile can kill you. Each aircraft can kill you. The only difference thing about aircraft is little aircraft only kill you a little bit. Big aircraft kill you worse. You see what I mean? Little missiles only kill you a little bit. Big missiles kill you worse. There's no relationship to the fact that I've done this 20 times before, that on the 21st time, it's going to have any bearing on that case. And normally when I have these things, I go, okay, well, we've been doing this for 20 years. Okay, so you've been doing it for 20 years. Okay. Sometimes we go down through it and we find out we've been doing it for 20 years incorrectly. That's okay. We find out, let's fix the problem, change our procedures, change the policy, change however we need to do, then adhere to it and go forward. That's the key point. But complacency is probably your number one killer, and hand in hand with that is arrogance. Okay? It's hubris. It's that thing going, well, I've got it, man, I've done it. Stop. Kihara, I don't want to hear you anymore. You know, we've been shooting tow missiles for 20 years. We've been shooting Hellfires, good gosh, for how long? I don't know. Been flying Kiowas when Christ was just a corporal. That was about a couple millennium ago, right? So you sit there and you look at that, and those two things are themes across organizations that have accidents, okay? And it doesn't matter whether it's at the flight deck of the Kennedy or whether it's out on TA1, okay? So you've got to be caution yourself to the arrogance piece, and then you've also got to pay attention to detail. It's the smallest details that are going to get you. There's 10 things, and they're not mine. That's why I didn't put them up there on the deal. Maybe I should have. I would have been. I actually stole them from a guy named Lyle. I don't know. He's got almost as much flight time as Bob Savage. He's an old dude, okay, and he had 10 things that keep pilots alive. And when you look at it, it applies directly to what we do. And he was not a tester, okay? This guy is a dude that just does lots of work. Lots of aviation type work, and it applies just, we'll take a little bit of literary license. Thorough preparation. Think about it, all of the processes we go through for SOPs, for test plans, for the safety of flight review boards, for all of those different things, the DRBs, the SRBs, it's thorough preparation. In that process, you're making the ORM, the CRM part of the operational imperative, aren't you? You're asking the questions, you're challenging all that stuff. Yeah, do we need to do that? A lot of times you sit there and go, do we need to do that? Well, I don't know, we've always done it that way. We had one of those discussions one time. Why do we really need to do it? We've always done it that way. Challenge that type of stuff. Don't assume. We don't have enough said on that one because everyone knows the acronym. Know your procedures. If you're in the aircraft, you have to have your checklist, you have to have your test cards with you. If you're on the range, you have to have your SOP with you, the checklist that's been derived from the SOP, if that is in fact approved, and you have to go forward with it from that case. It's no different than aviation maintenance, right? It's the exact same thing. You can't fix an aircraft without the manual. You have to know your test article. That probably gets us into more trouble than you can shake a stick at, because it goes right back to our complacency and our arrogance, okay? And that doesn't matter whether it's an aircraft, a gun, or whatever. Yeah, it's built like this, I know it. It's been built that way for the last 40 years. It's been built that way for the last 20 years. It's been built that way for a Kiowa since 1964. Then what do? You look at the AWR and you go, oh, I guess this one's not built that way. Or as we go through our SOP process on the missile side, a lot of times we'll get procedures up, but as they go through the review process, what happens after about 4 reviews? Somebody comes back and goes, these aren't even the procedures for that missile. I mean, we've had that happen. So the process is very robust because it keeps people from hurting themselves. Don't rush. That's one that gets us into trouble a lot. We got to rush, 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 go, 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 because the customer. I love that one, guys. Roll into my office with that one. The customer. I'll tell you what, we blow something up. I'll tell you what's important in this organization. We blow something up, we kill somebody, we put an aircraft in top of somebody's roof. I'll tell you what's important, because I've done that stuff before. I've been in organizations, I've commanded organizations where we do that. You know what happens? All halt, stop. We shut down. We'll shut down everything. I mean, that's just how it is. I've been in organizations because you have to. And then you get all kinds of help. But the bad part is you've hurt one of your brothers or sisters. Okay, and you can't fix that. That never goes away out of your head. Okay? Keep fit. Keep fit. Well, in some arenas, you have a lot of rules, regulations. You've got flight physicals. You've got these types of things. You've got to be well rested. A lot of da-da-da-da-da-da. What about working out on the range? I tied one on last night. Doesn't say I can't be hungover. But do I really want to be messing around with explosives? If I've been up for 3 days because my child has been sick, do I really want to be on a range doing live fire stuff? Probably not a good plan, guys. Do I really want to be operating that crane in close proximity to my brothers and sisters after not sleeping because my kid's been in the hospital? And I'm probably not. Attention to detail. Know your brothers and sisters and watch out